Hey y'all, it's that Mother FM podcast back again with another recap, review, discussion for Raising Kanan. We missed doing episode 5, so we're gonna go ahead and kind of run through some of what happened in episode 5, and then we'll jump right into episode 6. It's again, Jazzy, it's Jay Mills, Jodeci, and let's get to it. We're going to start off with the trip that Rock and Kanan took to Catskills. What do you guys believe was the main purpose of that trip?
Well, I believe the main purpose of that trip, I think part of it was so Rock could get more into Kanan's head about what was really going on with him, especially after he saw Detective Howard. After she saw that he was still seeing and talking to Detective Howard, so she wanted to really understand what was really going on with him and kind of influence him a lot too, also. But I think another reason is also to get rid of that inspector's body from season 1, the one that was stuck
Right,
up in the wall, and Marvin
right,
had to you know, take out the wall and clean up and everything. So he was in the trunk, and him and Kanan kept on going back and forth about the trunk. I remember that, but I think that was part of the reason too. So I think it was multiple reasons why.
right. I agree with you there. She
Right.
wanted to get in his head. She wanted, we left off with her seeing him at Detective Howard's house.
Hmm.
So she want to find out what's going on, like why are you not trusting me and what can I do to get that trust back? I think that was her main purpose of it.
Right, right.
So,
Because you could definitely tell she was starting to catch on that he didn't trust her. He was keeping secrets from her. The fact that he kept that secret that he was going to see him, that made her look at it like, oh damn, my son don't lie to me. He just lied to me. So now
right,
she gotta pick his brain and make sure he's still, you know, still around to be actually, still be her son, the son that she know.
right, right. So, what do you guys think about Kanan starting to believe Detective Howard a little bit and, not really believe that Rock is telling him the truth? Do you think that he's swaying over to Detective Howard's side?
I believe so a little bit. I think he getting convinced a little bit.
Right, right. I mean, especially when he told Juke, like I looked him in his face and it just didn't feel right,
Right.
or
He
something
said
like
the
that. I don't remember.
same thing she said about her mama.
Right,
He said
right,
about him.
Right,
right.
right. And I
Yeah,
agree also that I think that he's starting to believe Howard a little bit more than Rock because he's actually seen his mother in action and lie to people. He lied to him multiple times. Bring back season 1, the Wiz situation. You know,
right,
so
right,
she's. I mean, he's kind of used to that, and then he kind of. I mean, I think he's starting to believe Howard overall. So
right, right. Okay. And so, what do you guys think about that meeting that Lou and Crown had with the radio rep? I believe he worked for the radio. Um, what did you guys think of that? The way they basically played Lou in there and was like, "Okay, you the money man." What did you think of that?
Man, played him bad, punked him and everything. I was like, bruh,
Mhm.
that shit.
Yeah, and he had to try and be professional up in there, even though
Right,
he knows that is not the route he wanted to go.
right.
So, yeah. And then what do
yeah,
you think about what happened in the parking lot? I mean, it's not really too much to, really speak about with this because, we'll get into this what happened next, but the fact that he actually pulled out a gun on Lou, you know,
First
do
time
you think
seeing it,
he
I
would
thought
have
he was going.
really used it?
I thought that at first. I ain't gonna lie, I definitely did. So I was surprised when didn't nothing happen. I'm like, oh well, shit. Okay, he didn't. Lou didn't do nothing to him, and he didn't do nothing to Lou. So
I
yeah.
feel like, go ahead.
Well, at that point, I felt like when Crown showed the gun, he didn't shoot Lou. I was thinking like Crown is gonna die either at the end of episode 5 or the next episode. I was thinking
Mhm.
like he's probably gonna die pretty soon because he had his chance, to take out Lou and he didn't. So he missed his opportunity. I felt like.
And Jodeci, you were the one that said, "Oh, Crown, I think he might be the one to kill Lou." Didn't you say that?
So did, so did.
Mhm,
I was like,
mhm.
hey, bro didn't pull the gun. He ain't no way he's stupid enough to not pull the trigger. And his stupid ass didn't pull the trigger.
Because he too scary. He too
Man,
scary for that.
dumb.
He just trying to do what
Just
he
like Lou
can do to
said,
see if he could put a little fear in him, but nah, it's not working. It's not working at all.
just like Lou said, you can make gangster music. You can make gangster music. That doesn't make you a gangster. And Crown ain't no
Correct.
gangster.
Facts.
We all know that.
Correct. So, what did you guys think about Marvin having lunch with the therapist and their conversation? Um, for me, he as it was again where he realized, that he really messed up with his daughter. Um, and I think she's seeing, a little bit of a breakthrough, with him, doing some of her steps and, et cetera. But it was funny because he's like, yeah, I did something that, is unforgivable, whatever. He's like, but it wasn't no nasty stuff. Like, I can't remember exactly what he said,
Yeah,
but he's
it,
like,
it
it
wasn't
wasn't
no
no,
sex shit.
yeah, it
Crazy.
wasn't no sex stuff,
Nothing
whatever.
nasty,
So,
but
but do you guys
yeah.
have any thoughts on that?
I think they definitely had a breakthrough like between them and Marvin. Is basically more was acting a little bit more vulnerable at that point. He opened up to the therapist finally. So
Right.
I thought that was big for him. And in further episodes, he'll open up more to the group and all that. But
That's why Shorty feeling him even more. Cause she like,
Hmm.
oh, he opening up and then told me about his daughter and the real situation behind it. Now she
Right.
really feeling him.
Right. It's
yeah,
like you already know. I feel like they're gonna end up, dating or sleeping together or something like that.
Hell yeah, you know how power is.
Hmm.
Marvin, you going to hit that?
Right. So, we talked about this before about how we knew that um, Juke's song was going to be given to Zisa. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Did you guys believe that that was actually going to happen? And then, the fact that we talked about how Crown, gave her that tape, and it just seemed funny, and now we know that he purposely did that to piss
Right.
her off. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, I kind of felt like it was gonna happen because a
And
lot of people was talking about it, and then I was like, yeah. And then when it did happen, I was like, yeah, that was some sucker shit. I didn't know it was gonna be Luda gave her music to her, but
Yeah,
that was even worse because that's family. So that's some real sucker shit.
I felt
right,
like Crown was trying to go through any means and trying to get Lou out of this deal that he's in.
right,
So he was trying to go through Rock and Jukebox at this point.
right,
And it affects Caesar at some point. She
right.
Jukebox pull up on her.
And I was gonna say she rode up on her.
Yeah,
Rode up on her like, yo, like first of all, how do you even know where this girl live? Okay, how do you know where to find her? Right? But
she was
I,
outside. She was
whatever.
outside.
But she might have hit up the detective, and been like, hey,
Yeah,
how do I find her? Since she's doing a lot of that. But yeah, of course, she didn't do as good as Jukebox did. It was not the same, like at
nah,
all.
Nah, it
It
wasn't.
sounded like a completely different song, and I wasn't even feeling it in my mind. I'm like, is this the same song? Like, it goes to show you how different people, can sing songs or whatever, and they can really, really make or break a song by, whatever artist is on there. Um,
Jukebox had more soul in it. You know what I'm saying? She put her
right,
soul in it because it was something that she really related to. We know what she was singing about.
right, right. So, what about Marvin and the fact that he keeps on asking or spying on Tony, asking about Tony or spying on her? Like, why do you think he's doing that? Like, do you think he wants some type of revenge? Do you think,
Yeah,
I
You
think
think he
so.
wants revenge?
Yeah, he did. I feel like he probably gonna kill her. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be him. He might send somebody else. I had been seeing people make videos saying that he might send one of the mafia
You
people.
think he's gonna kill her?
It's a possibility. I don't know though.
Mm. He
Yeah, I think
acting like he like her, like he miss her. But of course, I don't believe that that's what it is.
Yeah,
I'm more.
I don't know about that, but I
I don't
mean,
know.
could be too, but I doubt it.
I think
Hmm.
Barber's one of those people. Once you cross him into the extent of get him getting locked up and shit and stuff like that, I think once that's done, I think their relationship is dead, and he's trying to get revenge. I think he's just out trying to seek out revenge at this point.
Right.
And
Right.
I think Tony may not make it through the season. I think
Even though we barely seen her.
seen it like a couple
um.
scenes.
So, what do you guys think about Detective Burke um interrogating uh in what was her name? Andrea? Yeah,
Yeah,
Andrea um about Detective Howard and what's been going on and basically threatening to, get her son, removed from her, if she doesn't tell her what is going on. What were you guys' thoughts on that? And then also the thoughts on um, when she told Detective Howard, I told her about your son. What y'all think
yeah.
about that?
I think it's a typical power move made by a detective or police officer. I revert back to the original Power. You got to remember Lala's character. I think it was one of the detectives. She actually pulled the same type of card,
Yeah,
Yeah.
threatening
Blanca
threatening
did.
Lala's character. I forgot her name. Lala's character about her son. You know, and all that. So I mean,
Mhm.
Detective Burks is trying to pull that same type of card, and that always works with a mother and a child, most of the time. So
Right,
I
Right.
thought,
Because they ain't gonna really be thinking it through.
yeah,
They just gonna react or snap reaction like you ain't taking my child,
right,
yeah.
which
right,
is understandable. You know.
And
right, right.
she gave some important information. She said that Howard had a teenage son. She didn't
Right.
give the name or nothing like that, but I'm quite sure Howard. I mean, not Howard, but Burke is smart enough to figure things out. I think she's piecing everything together. I think she knows that by now at this point.
Right,
So
right,
Right.
right. I agree. I agree, especially by episode 6, I think she kind of knows, not episode 5, but episode 6, because episode 5 she's just finding out or whatever. And Detective Howard, he was really, really mad, that
yeah,
and Andrea told about this because he's like, damn, like this is possibly gonna get me caught in a sense.
Right.
They're gonna find out what happened. So that is gonna be a little interesting to see how that plays out. Um, what do we think about Juke singing in the church? And do we think that her mother knows what type of person Juke is?
Juke. Hey, look, Juke might be my favorite singer now. I ain't even gonna lie, cause she killed that. I said,
yeah.
golly,
Mm.
God, man, look, hey, I'm talking about every note, everything was just smooth. That's why I was kind
But
of
we know
tripping off
that's
of that.
not really Juke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all know that though. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
the person that's playing that character, she man,
Hmm.
next
Right.
level.
Right. Right. Right.
And,
Definitely.
and I think honestly, it's going to be some type of conflict between her mother, who's really into church, and her daughter, me and Juke, because of her lifestyle. You notice how she
Mm-hmm.
the kid at church, the boy at church, she was like, "Don't you got some praying or something to do?" But he was trying to flirt with
Hmm.
her.
Right.
So
Right.
I think that scene was there for a purpose because it reminded us of her lifestyle. Like she ain't really into boys like that.
Yeah,
You
But
know? So
the mother also got to take into account that she was raised by Marvin.
Marvin,
You
yeah,
know, so
but
she's not going to be a saint.
yeah,
right,
That's
right.
not how she grew up. So
but the whole thing is, do we really know that she if she knows? Does Kenya know that Juke is not Juke's lifestyle is like a little different? Like, how would she react if we know that she doesn't know?
Right.
How
How's she
would
gonna
she
react
Yeah,
when she finds out that she's, part of
it's
the LBGTQ? What
right?
is it? I don't remember
LGBT
it.
thing, yeah.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
always
it's
mess
gonna
up
be
on that.
some stuff though, because I especially like I think you was telling me that you was like she all church, a church woman and everything. Now she changed.
Hmm.
She gonna feel some type of way,
yeah.
Right.
especially because most of them they already like that anyway. They judgmental, so
Right. Right. So the hitman failing to kill Rock. Um, you know, that definitely, was good that that happened. It was good that she had Kanan with her
Right.
to, you know, make their plan not work in their favor. Um, because now she's alive. She's alive to live another day. You know what I'm saying?
that just made me
Because
stick to my prediction from way back. I think Kanan killed his mom.
I
mm,
think so too at this point. I'm
So
starting to
that's why
think.
I'm like, that's why she's staying around until he do what he do. If she's dead, I believe he don't want to kill her, or he got somebody to kill her.
hmm
Yeah, it has to be one of them. If it's unique or the mafia, I'm gonna be upset at this point.
Right.
right.
Man, it's crazy.
So, what about Rock working with Unique, Worrell, and the Italians? Um, what do we think about that?
To
I
me, it
mean,
seemed like with the Italians, of course, it was forced. Because
mhm,
either she was gonna work with them, or they was gonna continue to fuck with her business and mess it up. So
right.
it was either that, and then they had to do the little extra because Unique is they friend or they friend of the family, as he mentioned. So you know how that go. They ain't gonna let nobody that they mess with, rock with heavy, get away from none. They gonna put them in and include them. So she ain't had no choice.
You know what? Like Rock said, that this was really convenient, how this all happened and just, everything fell into Unique's lap to where now he gets to run everything in Jersey, so that really was luck on his behalf because he's like, listen, I didn't plan this out, which in a sense he didn't plan it out.
Nah,
But,
Nah.
once
I think he did.
no, no, no,
I
no.
think he
Wait,
did.
let me finish. Let me finish because yes, he
Okay.
planned it out when it came to, him finding out about the Italians, but he didn't stick up for dude, knowing that this was going to
Mm.
put him in the position that he's
okay,
in.
okay,
Right.
That's what I'm saying. When he
okay,
did
Right.
what
Right.
he did what he did, without knowing that this was going to happen, you
right,
know?
Yeah,
It
that
put
was more of an
him
ego thing. Cause like when he
Mhm.
bumped him, he like he checked him. It felt like it wouldn't. He wasn't thinking like I see what you're saying.
Right.
He wasn't
Right.
thinking like, oh,
So,
let me help him and shit.
right. You know what I'm saying? So, literally, something that happened previously put him in the position for that. And she's like, it's mighty convenient, but you know what? If he would have never, fought for that dude in jail, he wouldn't be where he is now,
yeah,
you know?
Facts.
And, we can, at the end of the day, like, yeah, he set up all the rest of it. But I'm just saying, if
Right.
that little situation never occurred, this wouldn't happen.
and
So,
Yeah.
Just like Unique said, he felt like he hit the game winning shot
right.
against Rock.
Yeah. He did that because that's a blessing.
Really,
That's a blessing.
really,
You didn't just help a dude that's in position of power. So
exactly.
Yeah. And now he doesn't have to hold the weight of everything. It's all on Rock. He's just a worker now, making the money.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I'm sure he'll find a way to, get it all back. But yeah.
But
Yeah, because he not gonna stay under her forever. Because he not that type of. He don't
he's
strike
not.
me as the type of dude.
He's not going to do that definitely. But on Worrell, right quick, he's playing too much two sides of the fence. I feel like sometimes, and I don't really
Right.
think he's going to really make it that long through the season if he keeps on doing that. I know he's completely loyal to Unique, but he keeps on saying that he's loyal to Rock and trying to do stuff for Rock and all that, trying to help her. I think he's playing too much on the both sides of the fence, and that's going to hurt him at the end. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, you heard
he
her
still got
say,
that Drake. Go ahead.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
Dre mentality.
Right,
Definitely.
that Dre mentality. That's what he got. That's he the same as Drake. So and you see what happened to Dre.
Exactly.
Right. Right. Um, all right. So, Detective Burke, let's get back on her again. So, what do we think about the fact that she was looking through Detective Howard's file, found out that he was undercover for a little bit.
Hmm.
Now she knows that he has a son, etc. Um, Now she knows, okay, he's hiding something. She always thought he was hiding something, but now she knows for a fact something is not right. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
And I think Detective Burke is probably figured it out or pretty close to figuring it out because we got to remember that he was his files were excluded from 74 to 76. And I think that's the time when Kanan was born or
Hmm.
Rock was pregnant. So I think she's gonna definitely probably put two and two together, figure out how old Kanan is, and really try to figure things out. And plus, she actually saw Kanan and Howard, talking once again and him giving them a piece of paper and all that. So I really think that she's pretty close. If not, she figured it out by now. That Kanan and Howard, Kanan and Howard have a relationship, father son relationship going
Right.
on.
I definitely think that she is basically on the verge of figuring it out, or she did,
Or she did.
especially when she saw them together. I wonder if she's going to inquire what he was doing, with him. As far as like, with the other police officers finding out, why he was in there, and find out that he got famous out of jail. I know he did that to help out, Kanan to get closer with him, but I don't think that was a good idea. I don't think that was a good
Yeah,
idea.
nah. Cause then he got the money back too. So now they gonna look at it like,
Hmm.
why do you got the money back? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's too much money for a teenager to have anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think
And
I think
then,
Howard understands like the type of life that Kanan, Kanan's attached to Rock, and Kanan's in that family business probably. So you know, he just let that. I guess he just letting everything ride at this point.
right, right. So at that point, when they were sitting there talking, um, the crackhead was just arrested. And
Yeah.
he's walking by and he sees both Kanan and he sees Detective Howard together. And he looks back a couple times, you know? Um, so to me, that was an indication that he realized that it was them two that night. And I feel like they're about to get caught because of this right here. Because when he gets in that interrogation room or whatever, he's gonna be like, listen, I got some information for y'all. Let me out. And I got some information on y'all. I know who shot, whatever. Now they may not believe him because he's a crackhead.
Right.
But
Right.
at the same time, Detective Burke might.
Nah,
What
ain't
y'all
no
think about
Mike
that?
to it. Detective Burke, she definitely gonna believe it. 'Cause she gonna take any little bit of whatever she can and run with it. That's why I say she just as bad as Sax.
Right,
Mhm.
right, right.
I think the crackhead may not have seen Kanan's face, but he may recognize Kanan's height and Kanan's
His
build.
build.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Right.
think he had the hoodie up, so he may not have seen his face, but he recognized probably who Kanan. He recognized Kanan's probably stature. So
Right. Right.
that
Right. So Juke and her mother, they go shopping for dresses. Something Juke does not wear, but she's putting on these dresses. She's trying them on for her mother, etc. What do you guys think about them bonding? And do y'all think Kenya is going to stay around? Or do you think she's going to leave again?
I think it was a good thing that they was bonding, but at the same time, it could be a bad thing because, like we just discussed, I got a feeling she gonna find out Jukebox is living a lifestyle that she don't approve of, and then she gonna leave
Exactly.
her alone, or she gonna snap and do what Marvin did, and that's gonna really tear her up. And we never know because of how power do. Jukebox might kill her mama. We don't know.
Her mother probably is not going to accept her when she
Right.
finds out,
Yeah,
because she acts so into church and whatever. She's probably not going to accept her. Um, I don't know. I'm iffy about that.
and I think that's gonna even transition Juke to be what she is now to even a darker version of herself. You know,
Because you
Yeah,
done
it's
lost
gonna
two
hurt
people you
her.
love.
to be part of that transition, continuously getting rejected by her mom, by her dad, maybe by multiple, maybe by people in the future too. Also, her uncle too, Uncle
Right,
Lou, she getting
Yep.
right,
rejected. Yeah, so this may
right.
be like that transition. Maybe seeing
That's
that.
why her and Kanan was so close. Because Kanan
Right.
the only one that never switched on him
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
until the original power, of course. But you know,
Right. So Rob tells Marvin, you put your hands on her again. I'll KILLU myself. Um, and then she lets him know that Juka's been in contact with her mother, and he's like, "What?" He was like, "She thinks she can just stroll in after I did all this hard work, and now she was gonna come in and and act like everything is cool." And he went and he found where she lived easy. I don't know how, but he found where she lived easy. Came to the house and was like, "Leave." Do what you
Yeah,
do best and leave. What do y'all
it's
think
so
about them and their
it's so
interaction?
it's so interesting how they're able to find people so easily. And this is 1991, really before the
Right,
internet and all that. But
right.
um, the whole thing with Kenya, I felt like after seeing this scene, I understand that she did not get paid to go away. Nothing. I don't think really nothing major happened, and they told her she saw something, and they told her to go away, like they usually do in Power. They paid her to go away, somebody to go
Hmm.
away, something like that.
Right,
You know,
right,
I felt like it was an emotional that was an emotional type of conversation they had. So we saw Marvin, getting emotional about this stuff. That she
right,
just left, and
right,
Marvin felt some type of way about that. You know,
right.
so
Yeah, he left her, with a girl. She left him with a girl to raise. And he was in that life back then.
he
He
was.
was the top dog. So, that's not what he wanted at all. I mean, you left her when she was a baby, basically. So, yeah, yeah. All right. So, what about the fact that Famous got arrested? So we have um Kanan and him getting robbed. The
Yep.
money was taken, and they go back. They get the money. This is when we seen Kanan, his first real act of being a monster. You
Exactly.
hmm
know, the first time we ever seen him really, because think about every time we saw him with the gun, he was shaking.
Yeah.
he was always scared.
He was always,
Even when they shot at old boy, they was scared.
yeah,
Yeah.
always shaking, always scared. This time he's like, nah, he beat that dude, to a bloody
Yeah.
pulp,
Yep.
Yeah.
beat him. But
Yeah.
so same as getting arrested. What do we think about that? Do we think that, something is going to come from this? Well, we know something's going to come from it because they were there and the crackhead saw them, and so did Detective Burke, so we know something's going to come from it. But as far as him getting arrested, do you guys think that they're going to find out that they were selling drugs?
I think that's gonna be part of it. I think they may possibly find out because you got to remember. I think a few episodes ago they were selling it out of his mixtapes with his
Mm,
name, with Famous's name on it. So I think that the cops probably gonna put two and two together. Definitely figure it out overall. But
right. Even sorry.
also I wanted to say that the fact that Kanan went to his family first and told them about what happened to Famous, and Rock is like, hey, he has a mother, you know, she needs to handle that. So I think that the fact that she said that and Marvin was behind her, I think Lou didn't really say anything about it, but I felt like that's going to separate. I felt like that's going to be part of that separation a little bit
Mhm.
between him and his mother, uncles, and stuff like that. So I think that's going to play a little part in it, you know,
Right,
from that separation.
right. I definitely agree on that. Definitely agree on that. Um,
That's just like his brother, just like you said.
And even like the dude in jail, he mentioned he's like, listen, I've seen all your mixtapes in the trash,
Right.
like, and it's really the cassettes, but it's like I seen them in the trash, It killed me when the dude walked up and he's like, you don't want none of this. Like, come on, famous. Like, come on
Famous
now.
trying
Like he
to
definitely not finna do nothing. Calm down, bro.
yeah, he's
Right.
not that like
Right. Like, come on now. Let's get it together. And like I was saying, I don't think it was a good idea that Detective Howard, um, you know, got him out of jail. I don't think it's a good idea, Like we just talked about, there was just so many things that happened in that one little scene of him getting him out of jail, the different people that saw them together. It wasn't a good look. It
Right.
wasn't a good look. Okay, Palomar, I'm still like, what is going on with this woman? Like, I
Oh
can't
no, but
wait till we get to the bottom of this.
I don't
Kanan,
know.
Kanan, he looking like he might get lucky around this mug, man.
Right. Like, and, she gave him a gun. Why
Yeah,
would she give a little young boy a gun?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Just like I said, still something ain't right.
Something
I
about her
believe
lifestyle.
yeah.
one of y'all have brought up that maybe Rock set this up. And, the only reason that I could believe that is because she gave him a gun,
Right.
and maybe that's just what she's supposed to be doing, protecting him and, whatever. I don't know, they're just a little weird
She
to me.
just
And I
come
can't,
off. The way she come off, it kind of throw you off. Like even when the way Kanan will be like, what the hell? Like
mm,
it'll make anybody kind of look. You be like, what the hell? Like you let your daughter come do what she doing, and then you act like you kind of want to rock with me. This is kind of off. I'd be
yeah,
thrown off too, though.
it's
Yeah, I
weird.
think I don't know if Rock Center or Unique Center, but it's kind of off. It's like it's kind of off with me. The fact that she's
Right,
just handing a gun like that.
right. How do you for Reed? What do we think his motives are? Like, do y'all think are you still thinking that he wants to date Rock, or do you think he has bigger plans than dating her? Like wanting to get in on her business or wanting her to buy from him? Like, what do you think it is?
Probably
I think
both, and or he probably need a little bit more help financially to get that label off the ground, or the artist that
Than
he
what
worked
he's
with.
putting out? Because
right.
he trying to
Hmm.
act like he got it like that.
Yeah, cause I mean anybody can front. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I think he mentioned that he doesn't really do his business really in New York, his drug business. He mentioned Virginia, DC, Maryland area that he really
Right.
does his business from. So if Rock is looking to expand, I could definitely see them collaborating. You
Right.
know,
I mean, that's
that
part of his point of being in this because they're gonna, collaborate.
hmm
Hmm. All right. What about Rock telling Lou about Crown, about his proposal? Did y'all think she was gonna do that? I didn't. I didn't think she was gonna tell him.
No, I
I
wouldn't have
thought this
thought.
was.
I never would have thought of it. I just think she did that out of a way to get rid of him, so she could take over the whole thing.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah, I think that too. Also, but Rock was trying to just make a little slight power move over Lou, saying that Lou, you know, the guy, I mean Crown doesn't really think he's built for this. That type of deal. So
Yeah, she tried to play him. And that got him in his feelings, man. That got him all types of in his damn feelings to the point that he went to the studio and was like, that's it. I'm at
Yeah.
my wits' end with you. You gonna say I'm not good at my job? You gonna say I'm not good at this? Like, nah, I'm done. I'm
Hey,
done.
bro said it's okay. I let it slide when you was knocking off my girl, cause I didn't want to
Hmm.
let this get in the way of our business. I was like, bro, but I could tell he was going there. I could tell by the way he was acting. He was going there. Once you mess with something somebody loved, is passionate about it,
yeah,
it set him off.
Right. It definitely set him off.
yeah, because
Do y'all think he can? I'm sorry. Do you have something to say, J Mills?
oh, no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Do y'all think he can run this label without Crown?
Possibly, cause he gonna have help from
Season
what's his name? No, not
of
Zisa, but
Nadia Farid.
yeah.
Cartier for real.
As long as he have his help, then he should be alright.
Hmm. And then
Hopefully
so
Zisa shut because she saw everything.
I was just about to say that Zisa saw what happened. Do you think she's going to be truthfully down to keep that a secret, or do you think she would use that to her advantage?
Probably to her advantage. Hell, do we even know if she gonna still be alive? He might kill her because she seen it.
I don't think so.
You don't believe he would?
Nah, I think they about to date.
Yeah, they're about to date. I think
You
this
remember she was,
mutual.
telling him that she liked him, she's singing to him, you know. I mean, and
Right.
I always saw the looks that she was giving him.
Yeah.
She's been giving him looks from the beginning. I mean, not from
But
when
he
he
but he
put her
also
up.
kind of played her off too.
He did play her off because I think he wants to keep it about business.
But
Hmm.
I think he understands that Jukebox is a better singer than her at the end of the day. So she needs some type of
Hell
advantage.
yeah. Jukebox.
She
Jukebox got her blown out the water, man.
she
Right,
understands that. So she going to Lou and Cartier. She's trying to be on both of their sides right now at this point.
right,
Facts.
right. All right, y'all. This was pretty quick. What do we think about the predictions for the next episode? Where are we going with this?
Ooh,
Anybody have any thoughts? We talked about, you guys talked about Roel dying, um, and we're getting to episode 7. Usually 8 is the big one, right?
Yeah,
right.
Ed is usually the
But
big one.
they do have different writers though. So,
That is true. It's different people for this one, or it's different people for each one. So we don't know how they gonna do it.
yeah. But episode 7, I borderline think, well, I mean, we just got a death on this one with Crown. We knew Crown wasn't going to make it, and he did not. Um, I think we're probably going to get to maybe that slap that happened with Kenya and Marvin.
Hmm.
Um, so we might get another interaction with them.
Hmm.
And of course, we're going to get another one with Detective Howard. What did he give him? Remember when he was like, "This is everything you need if you have more questions."
You
Was
look. You know what he gave. You know what he
the
gave.
DNA? The,
Oh, the DNA test. Yeah.
Yep.
that's what I was thinking. And then,
Ah,
but see, now it just brings me back to when he said, like, he never met his dad, but they're different writers, they could be changing some things up.
I think either they messed up or they gonna make it to where they saying like he said he didn't know him. So since he didn't know him, which he technically didn't know him, he was just getting to know him.
yeah.
I don't know, man. They I don't know. They might be messing up though. To be real,
So
He might
Howard,
not, Detective Howard may not make it past this season.
That's what I was
That
about
might
to
be
say.
true too. That might be true too. We don't know what's gonna happen. We because right now
That's all
this is just all an assumption.
because of the fact that
Mhm.
Kanan said he did not really know his father. I'm thinking that too. Detective Howard may not last through the season because
Yeah,
honestly, he barely knows him at this point. You know,
I'm
so
thinking
thinking
he'll
something
last
is going
until
to
about episode 10, and
yeah.
then
I could.
he'll
I
find
give it
out.
that.
Yep.
happen.
I give it that too. Or 8. You never know because like you just said, episode 8 usually be the big one. He might get killed in the 8.
Yeah, and we
The only
know
reason I can see it happening at 8 is if they bring in some other conflict, because that's one of the big conflicts. And of course, we have the Italians, but they would have to bring in and introduce another big conflict.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah.
we've
Or he
seen in
could
the
get killed like how what's the guy name from the original Power that tried to kill Angela?
are you talking
Tony?
about dang, what's his name? He's
No,
from like
he was Mike Sandoval.
Oh, yeah,
Sandoval,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
first
Yeah,
couple.
he could get killed like him. He could get into some situation with Detective Burke, and Detective Burke could one up him and kill him.
Okay, and I was about to say that. I was about to say I could see Detective Burke finding out what happened and him trying to kill her, and she ends up
Mm-hmm.
killing him.
Facts.
That could
It's
be it.
possible, man.
And we know
Right.
in the previews of episode 7 that Rock is in the car with the gun. And she's trying to shoot somebody.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Y'all seen it?
because I forgot about that. She might be
Trying
trying.
to
She might be killing him too.
she might be either focused on Howard, Burke. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's
I
yeah,
Howard.
mean, it could be Howard because maybe he'll tell his mother that he got the DNA test,
Right.
yeah.
and that just pisses her off.
Right.
So
And
that
we
could be
see in
it.
the trailer how they was meeting right before that part of that trailer came in. So
Hmm.
I don't know, but power is power, so they might just be throwing the loop.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I don't think Howard's going to make it. Possibly, it could be a possibility. Maybe a 50-50 chance he may make it this season or not.
Right. So, do we have anything else to add?
Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I don't know how true it is, but it's been a little sneak, conversation of people saying that Breeze might come in season 3.
Hmm.
So they go back to Detective Howard being killed. If Detective Howard is dead and don't make it to season 3, that's perfect timing because that'll be the perfect person to help guide Kanan, the male figure that Kanan need, because his uncles is
Yeah.
there, but they not really showing him no real way. Because Lou trying to get out, he trying to make beats, run a label, and
Right.
Marvin he's trying to focus on getting jukebox back. He got his own issues with his daughter, so he ain't
Right.
focused. They ain't focused on helping Kanan and guiding Kanan in the game.
Right.
Exactly.
And
That,
Scrap
that
and Scrappy dead, so
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that does make a
Right.
lot of sense. That'll be a perfect transition if Howard dies and Breeze just kind of goes at the beginning of season 3. That does make sense to be that father figure type.
And I
right.
could see that
Important.
happening. Because we had 2 seasons of this already,
Exactly.
Hmm.
so by season 3, it's time to move on to something else.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can definitely see that happening. Definitely. So
Hopefully
Yeah,
does
they
any
got to bring him in anyway to keep keep the main interest because people not gonna want to too much watch this no more if we just watching the same old thing repeat itself.
right.
exactly. We need
Just
a
like
little bit of time jump too. I feel like let's fast forward to 92, maybe even 93. For
mhm,
season 3.
Yeah, they might skip up a little bit.
right,
Hopefully.
right. Okay. All right. And before we end this, dudes, does anybody want to add any other thing? No?
Nah, I'm good on my end.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'm good too. Also,
All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to That Mother Effing Podcast. Y'all hit the subscribe button, hit like if you like the video, and thank you. We're out.
yeah.